The radio was blasting, someone's knocking at the door. I'm looking at my girlfriend, she passed out on the floor. Seen so many things that I ain't never seen before. Don't know what it is, but I don't want to see no more. Mama told me not to come. Good evening and welcome to the there's like creepy. Oh, what's happening? Oh, freak out. Oh, whew. Good God, I can't do that but once a year. What are the humans doing?
No James Bond nonsense. Subversion is the term, if you look in a dictionary or criminal code, is explained as of activity to destroy.
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah.
You cannot subvert an enemy which doesn't want to be subverted. Starting from Hollywood movie makers to professors of political science, the rest, 85%, is always subversion. But according to the law and law enforcement systems of the Western civilization, it's not a crime. The United States is a receptive target of subversion.
They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lied. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah.
Things like religion, government system, political, economical system of a country. Manipulation of terms. We think that subverter is a person who is going to blow up our beautiful bridges. Subverter is a student who comes for exchange, a diplomat, an actor, an artist, a journalist like myself. And easily observable if you give yourself time and trouble to observe it.
Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile.
Means always a destructive, aggressive activity aimed to destroy the country, nation, or geographical area of your enemy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I have a weird little selection of things. I did a show with Samuel the Infamous last night, and we were discussing cryptids, and there was this one in particular that for millennia was thought to be a complete and total mystery, like a non-existent animal. And like sometime in the mid 1920s or so, they found pieces of it, and then they found some more pieces of it, and then they were able to prove that such a thing existed, and eventually they were capable of getting specimens and naming it. But it just goes to show how difficult it is to identify a creature known since antiquity to have existed, and yet to not have any physical representations of it in the world. So, but first, we have a naughty cop. You know, them cops be doing some of those naughty things that we don't like them doing, you know, like too much work. Don't do that. No. I prefer my government kind of ineffectual, you know. like not really doing anything, just kind of sitting over there handling stuff I don't want to deal with, but otherwise amalgamous and non-forming. I don't know. It's kind of a meta concept, I suppose. Let's see if I can make this work. If I remember how all this goes. All right. So our first bit of media we're going to go over, and I'm going to go through this one more or less normal speed. I'm not going to skip. There's only like 2 parts I think I'm going to skip, and I may not do that. It just kind of gets dull for a few minutes. But what do you do when you're trying to figure out who murdered someone, and there's definitely a cop involved? You just question the cop like everybody else. Do they get their time in the hot seat? Do the evil interrogators come in and use the Reed technique on them? I think so. I don't think there's honor among thieves, personally.
Her arms were wrapped around her neck, and Amy was falling down.
Did she have her hand around her throat? Or
I don't know if it was like this or if her hand, I believe her hand was like this and the other arm was around it like this.
Friends, this is Police Officer Megan Glory. On June the 8th, 2017, her ex-girlfriend, Deanna Stevenson, entered the...
I'm not going to lie. When that screen went blue, I panicked. Just now, and the first time I watched this video, I was sitting here doing something, and I saw the screen glow blue, and I went, because that's like PlayStation screen of death blue right there. What's up, Lawless? Good to see you, bud. In a world where Lawless joins the chat. Right? Really good clip, some of those sounds. He did some good stuff.
The home of her current girlfriend, Amy Plunkett. In the home was Megan, Amy, their mother, Ollie, and Deanna. Unfortunately, Deanna ends up dead. What happened? Who took her life? In this video, I'm going to show you the interrogations of all those involved. I'm going to start with Megan. Let's see what happened.
Tell me what happened this morning.
I was sleeping and I heard Amy's mom come in and say, "Someone's at the door." So then Amy got up. And I
What's
got
up,
up
keeping the
and
swan in
Deanna
line?
was out there.
This chick whispers her way through this entire freaking interview, and there's not much I can do about it. She's jacked up as far as she can go.
Calm her down because I believe she was drunk. I'm not really sure, but she reeked and
Of
then-
alcohol?
Mhm. And then I got in between her and Amy because they were screaming at each other, and I said, "You need to leave. You need to go. Get in your car and go." And then she jumped through me and attacked Amy and had Amy by the neck and was choking her. At that point, I don't know who got the
When you
gun.
say choking her, what do you mean choking? How did
Like
she-
her arms were wrapped around her neck and Amy was falling down.
Did she have her hand around her throat? Or
I don't
did
know
she
if
have
it
her
was
arm?
like this or if her hand was, I believe her hand was like this and the other arm was around it like this. And then they were falling. So then I was trying to pry Deanna off of her and I was yelling, "Stop, stop." And
What's crack-a-lacking? Smokity, 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 crack. Crackety, 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 smoke. Smokity, 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 crack. Crackety, 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 smoke. Smoke, crack, crack, smoke. That should be performed as a duet.
I don't know who got the gun out. I don't know if her mom got it out or if Amy got it out before then. I'm not really sure.
So you never saw the gun?
No, I never saw it. I had no clue who even had it.
Mhm.
So then I'm telling Deanna to leave, get off of her, get off her, and I'm trying to pull her off. Well, then she tries to get me and hit me. And so Amy, they're still wrestling back and forth. And then that's when she was shot.
Okay.
It all happened like so fast. I don't even know what to feel.
Do you, what's your past with Deanna?
Abusive. So, okay, let's backtrack. We were together for 6 years. We own our house. She has a son. We broke up a little over a year ago. And it's been rocky ever since. She would threaten me, and she was abusive in the past.
Threaten you by means of what?
All links for all the videos we're watching tonight can be checked out in the description of the video, and I'll drop them occasionally in the chat so everybody can find things. The actual video is linked in the description. along with the creator and a short description by the creator. This is largely what you would expect. It's Jim Can't Swim inspired. It's interrogation footage with commentary and all that cool stuff. Now, I don't get the feeling this individual actually understands the rights by which these situations come about, and so it kind of feels a little bit like he's overlooking stuff. But it's probably because he's British, right, and living in America, so that might have something to do with it.
Like calling me and threatening me that she was gonna self, and not threatening me like for my life to be in danger, but threatening like to kill herself, or Amy, to kill Amy.
Cammed up caveman.
And then so we haven't lived together in probably 4 or 5 months.
NH Mountain Girl.
Did you know her to have any possession of firearms or anything like that?
Deanna? No, she has none.
She has no firearms.
There was never. Let me rephrase it. There was never any in our house when we lived together. So I don't know if there is now. I don't know, because she works at the prison in Milton.
Okay.
So I don't know if there is now. I don't know if there's any in her car. I have no clue what her intentions were. She's never come to the house before like that. And I know she worked last night, and the last thing I had talked to her, she had asked me to go feed the dogs that are at our house, her 2 dogs. And I told her, okay, I wasn't going to be able to make it. Then her mom said she was going to go do it. So I put my house key at her mom's house, and that was the last I had talked to her. And then at like 8:30, she texted my phone and said, what did she say? Amy has a hold on you. And I forget what the other message said. And then that was it. I said, I'm not doing this with you tonight. I'm not fighting with you. Have a good night or bye or something. And she said, oh, you never do. And that was at like 8:40 last night. And I hadn't talked to her since then. And I went to sleep last night and then woke up this morning. I have no clue what time it even was this morning to her banging on the door.
Okay.
Okay, so home chick sitting at home, middle of the night, taking her a nap, getting her piece, whatever. And bam, 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 some chick's beating on the door, and it's this next chick that's going to be up for the discussion. And apparently, some dude's with her. Now, I've watched this once before, and I'm still unclear as to exactly what took place in that few minutes. Even though you get to hear, I think, 2 different perspectives of it, it never does really coagulate, as it were.
You were able to get in there. What did you hear her saying?
Who's saying?
Deanna.
All I heard her say was, where's Meg? Where's Meg? Because I didn't go out because I was asleep. So I got up after like a minute after Amy had opened the door. And I don't know what they were saying. They were exchanging words of some sort.
People famous.
I think she was saying leave or get off my porch, leave. And then Deanna kept saying, where's Meg? Where's Meg? Where's Meg? When I come around the corner and I said, what do you want? What do you need? And she said, take me home. And I said, what is the deal? And then Amy said, you need to get in your car. You need to leave. You need to leave. Well, then at that point, she had attacked Amy. And I believe she went after her mom.
When you say she attacked Amy, what did she do?
She just like lunged at her and then put her arms around her. And then she was punching her. She was punching her for sure. And then she had her by the throat.
I'm not catching amazing believe me vibes off this chick. I mean, of course, she'd had just woke up, so maybe she's a little fuzzy. I'm a little fuzzy after I wake up after a bender, you know.
And that's whenever I tried to get in and break it up, and then that's whenever the gunshot happened.
Okay. And then after the shots were fired, what'd you do, or what'd you see after that?
After that, Amy knelt down by her and was trying to cover her up. And then there was blood everywhere, obviously. And then she yelled to me, go get a towel, go get a towel. So I went and got a towel for her. And then she was doing that. And then I was outside the whole time after that, just waiting. I called 911 and told them what happened. And they were on the phone with me. And I was trying to get her to breathe and talk to her. But at that point, it was
Tell me about what you saw when she had Amy by the throat.
So I believe she had her like this, and then her arm wrapped around her. And Amy was like trying to breathe, of course. And then they went backwards.
Was she gasping or was she saying anything?
She wasn't saying anything. No, she wasn't saying anything. And then they fell back into the two chairs on the front porch. And I was at that point trying to pull Deanna. I said, please stop, please stop.
Hold on.
And then from there, everything.
I'm sorry, but my Southern heritage is getting to me. I hear them accents going on, and I'm thinking Middle Alabama somewhere. You know? Deanna Stevenson.
Else. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh,
And then I was in the middle. I know I was in the middle of them too.
What's up, Tiffany?
And she tried to
Good
lunge.
see you,
Not lunge. She
Welcome
tried to. She was hitting Amy in the face, and then I said, "Stop, stop!" And then she had her by the throat.
Where are
After she hit her in the
mods?
face, and that's when they both fell
in here. That's
to the
so
ground. That's when they fell to the
amateur
ground,
hour.
and then
Like
they're done.
nobody loves Sasquatch. That's weird.
Anything else you can think of?
No, I'm so in shock. I don't even. What happens? Like I don't.
Well, I'm like to write the report, obviously.
Obviously.
How long have you stayed over
Yeah,
there?
bud.
I think
So we're going back through. We'll be doing this for a couple hours.
Mm-hmm. I was like, I think I've been there like 3 to 6 months, 3 to 5 months, something like that.
And you still stay in contact
If,
with Deanna?
Yes.
If YouTube don't take down the third video I'm looking at, that thing is like, it's almost, I think, 2 hours of like wacky trail cam. What's up, Izzy? Welcome in. John Blanchard, good to see you. Lawless Reels. Squatchaholics unite. Yeah, I hear you. That's the way it goes.
Well, for the house reason. I mean, she would text me and call me and stuff, and we would communicate for like bills or the dogs or whatever.
Does she have another girlfriend?
I believe so, but I don't know for sure. I'm not 100% sure on that. We don't talk about things like that. I know she was with somebody, but I don't know if they're still together, if they were still together.
Tell me about the restraining order that you had on her.
Okay, so that
Save a cowboy, ride a Sasquatch.
was back, I don't even know the month, but that was due to her. Every time I go to the house, she would yell, scream, try and hit me. She had been abusive, had pushed me down, had grabbed me by the throat a couple of times. And so I felt unsafe and not safe in my home. Mm-hmm. So that's when I finally said I was done with this. Something needs to happen. So I did the restraining order. She went and stayed wherever she went and stayed. And
John
then
Blanchard,
we went to court, and then there wasn't enough evidence to continue it. So then it was thrown out, and then she stayed in the house, and I didn't stay back in the house after that.
Did she say anything after the restraining order was dismissed?
I figure it's probably kind of like a saddle horn. Would be my guess. I mean, yeehaw.
She had any kind of physical altercations, anything like that?
I never went around for that to happen again. Okay. When I went to the house one time afterwards, she threw a dish on the ground, but she didn't like attack me with it. She didn't throw it at me or anything. But hey,
you give me half a chance. I was talking to Sam last night, and it occurred to me that hypothetically speaking, if Hollow Earth was real, there would be this time period between the discovery and the actual declaration that hunting there is illegal where you could eat everything. I could have Baradosaurus burger. We could get one of those Stego steaks, you know. What's up? Not really here. How you doing?
But I never was around her alone again to experience any other.
Do you? And I assume that just by looking at Deanna and then looking at Amy, Deanna's quite a bit bigger than Amy is. Mm-hmm. During the time that Deanna was choking Amy, did you have any feelings? How did that make you feel? Did you feel like Amy was in fear of her life?
After listening to that description of how she had a hold to her, I think it was The $1 Million Dream by Ted DiBiase. I think that's what she had her in. It certainly wasn't the cross-faced chicken wing.
Being choked out.
I did feel that, yes, because I know I've felt the end of Vienna before. She has abused me before. She has choked me before. So I know the feeling. So yes, I was very scared. And I didn't want any of this, of course, to happen. But I did feel, and I tried to stop it. I tried to pull Deanna off because I know how she.
Now, Snark, there is no law in the books that say we cannot love the animals we eat. In fact, as a farmer, I think that's kind of part of your responsibility is to show them as much humanity as you can while still getting an excellent cut of beef, or in this case, pigopotamus.
She gets,
Right.
especially after she's been drinking. When she's been drinking, it's times 1,000 with the anger.
Okay.
But I don't even know what possessed her.
Don't you know? Feelings is important, girl. They're what make the world go round. My truth is far more important than reality, obviously. Wait, I can't be right.
To come to the house and drive her car. I don't know.
How did she know that where y'all live?
She's driven by before, and I believe her girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, whoever she is, told her because Amy knows her, and that's how I can only assume she knows. That's where we live.
Okay. Who was sleeping on the couch right there inside the door?
Amy's.
All right, Snark. Listen, I love you dearly. I do. And I understand farming veggies. I might have grown a veggie or two in my day at a time. But egg carton caterpillars? What are egg carton caterpillars? Can you explain, please? I am very curious about this whole thing. The concept has just befuddled my brain. Please explain.
His mom.
So Amy's mom was there and y'all were in the bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that normal? Is it for her mom to sleep on the couch?
Either on the couch or in the on a blow-up mattress.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be right back with you, okay? All right. The scene's been released. We're going to get you guys back over there. When you get there, we're going to have to take all of your clothes. We're going to need you to change. And then we're just going to take the clothes you have.
You're taking these clothes right now? Okay.
But once we get over there.
Okay.
Whose jacket do you have?
So one of the officers who drove here.
Oh, okay. Far or one of them guys?
Not far, but
What's up,
what's his
baby?
name? Amy knows his name.
In the world? What was it?
In the world of Sasquatch.
Excellent. So how you swinging there, bud?
A little to the left, baby.
That's the way it hangs, right? Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
this Lawless, what is your current channel name, your actual channel name?
Lawless Reels.
Lawless Reels that's in the chat over here. I bet you I can share that.
Appreciate you.
Hey, we got a mod in chat. She's a super mod too. Izzy's badass if she's still around. Why? I don't see any of your chats. Are you not talking to me anymore? Do you not love me? There it is. There it is. Do this before we move on because if I don't, I won't do it. Won't do it. Nope. And that would be Lawless Reels right there, folks. Y'all go check him out. He does this IRL thing where he just kind of wanders around and looks at stuff. You're sending me a short as an explanation for the egg carton caterpillars. Do you know this madness she's speaking of?
Not at all.
Like, I'm liable to change this whole show up. We're fixing to go full on, regen agriculture. A brand new lease on life. I've got a reason to live because I don't know what that is.
All right. How you doing today, man? How you doing?
I had a show last night with Samuel the Infamous. We discussed cryptids and how sometimes things that are believed to be cryptids are actually real, and sometimes things that are real or that are cryptids are basically mistaken identities of things that are real. So
Oh, okay.
Not remember the name of this one African cryptid that for a bajillion years was just thought to be like a unicorn, a figment of your imagination. Just somebody made it up. It was
But
propagated through the ages. No,
no,
it's a
it's
real.
from something else then.
It's like a miniature gyraff. Let me
Oh,
tell you something, bro. If I walked up to you and I said, "Okay, bud, in my backyard, I've got these two animals. One is a leopard, horse, deer, moose hybrid, and the other is a horse with a horn on it. Which one are you going to believe?"
ooh, the leopard moose hybrid there.
You think that's real?
Yeah, not the
Yeah.
horse with the horn.
I mean, anybody can imagine a horse with a horn. You're not even sure what you're thinking of when you say that.
I see some crazy animals out there, man.
Yeah, no, the gyro kind of breaks all the points on it. What's up, Dan Keeper? Good to see you, bud. Yeah, a horny horse is quite believable. I mean, even if it's like, I mean, it's just a horse with a horn. How hard could that be? Somebody's got a CRISPR gene somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I hear you on that. That's true. That is true.
Right? All right, so you see what we're looking at here?
Yes, that sounds interesting.
Interrogation footage. Somebody involved it. Actually, we know that one of these chicks shot the woman. We know this. This is not debate. The question is who was holding the gun and who is responsible. That's the curiosity here. We've got the interrogation footage to try to go over it and figure it out. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
All right. Giggity.
Okay.
You just gave it to me because I don't have any undergarments.
Oh, that's fine. All right, we're gonna get you back over there in just a second, okay?
Right, so that's the end of Megan's interview. There's 3 points to this. Number 1, she spoke in a firm tone. Number 2, she did not stutter. And number 3, most importantly, she didn't see anything about her ex. She never said anything bad about Deanna. She didn't try and
That's
put her
true.
down. You know what I mean?
Hello,
She didn't give the
unindoctrinated.
impression that
Welcome
she
in.
looked down upon Deanna or that she wanted this to happen. Therefore, I believe
Northwoods
she's
Press.
telling
Good
the
to see you.
truth, and this is a case of self-defense in a sense. However, let's move it on and let's go to the next interview of Amy Plunkett, who in this case is Megan's girlfriend.
Tell me what happened.
All right. Right on the surface, I'm asking, does this look like a reliable witness?
Excuse me, I'll have my mic on mute for a second right there.
It's because you're an absolute consummate professional. I understand.
Love it.
So this one, is this a trustworthy witness? You reckon we're going to get valuable information from this person?
Check out the body language and everything. So the body language,
We know nothing else yet. We've only seen the picture of this person.
it's very relaxed. So
Yeah, I do feel like kind of laid back.
yes,
I'm going to say
leaning
yes.
in and everything. So
Valuable information, honesty.
I think so. I think they're gonna be honest.
Okay, all right. Let's see.
We were all sleeping. My alarm was going off. My alarm, I have to be at work at 6. And I was just getting out of bed, about to get out, and my mom knocks on the bedroom door and asks us, she wakes us, well, I'm already getting up, and asks if we're expecting anybody. I said, no, why? Somebody's knocking and banging on the door. So naturally, I grabbed my gun. It's still dark outside. And
So naturally. What kind of banging on the door was going on over here? Like if you come banging on my door at 4 a.m, you are very likely to get met with the Sasquatch with a firearm. However, if you come knock on my door like a person, I'm just going to answer the door. You know.
Yeah. I can't even imagine even going to the door. Someone's not going to bang on my door at 4 a.m. time. I'm already figuring out ways to ambush them to figure out what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm peep out a window. I ain't opening shit till I see whether I got a badge. God forbid they come across that threshold without being invited, because I'd really hate to send your mama some cleaning bills for my rugs. Look real bad.
Oh man.
Just saying, dude, it's not my responsibility to keep the blood inside your body.
Oh, goodness.
It's yours.
It's gracious.
Don't leak. All right.
And I go to the door, and it's Deanna, my fiance's ex. I'm like, you need to leave now. Well, first she starts asking, is this where Amy Plunkett lives? Because it's still dark. I don't know. Because I have the door cracked about this much. So my gun is beside me.
Are y'all talking through the door? Or
no, the door's open. It's like, my body's in the, and I was like, you need to leave. You're not welcome here. You need to leave. I'm not leaving. Where's Meg? I was like, she's not coming out. You need to leave. So I shut the door and I lock it.
All right. So she didn't go to the door with a gun because she didn't know who it was. She went to the door with a gun because she did know who it was.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right.
Just tried to make sure I got everything, all the ducks in a row and stuff. If we happen to have any ducks. I don't have any ducks. You got any ducks?
No.
Definitely got to get some ducks.
And I walk off, and she starts ringing the doorbell, continuously banging back on the door. So I come back.
One more thing. She closed and locked that door. At that point, she could have called the cops. She could have called some neighbors that would have called the cops. She could have called her daddy that could have called the cops. She could have called Edgar Casey. I mean,
no, I get it.
There's a lot of things that could happen here. Provided nothing gets broken, I have to wonder how the person got back in the house, because people are safely separated. There's no gun play. We're good momentarily.
Set my gun on the TV stand or whatever it's by the front door by the TV. And I open the door, and I'm like, you need to leave. You're not welcome here. I don't know why you're here. I'm not leaving. Tell Meg to come out. Blah, blah, blah. Well, about that time, Megan comes out, like, from the bedroom and comes out the front door. And then she gets real close and gets up in my face. Deanna does. Okay. Megan's still behind me because I'm not letting her out the doorway.
Did Deanna step up into the door?
She stepped up to the door. At this point, we had stepped out onto the stoop.
Okay.
And then she grabbed Megan and was like, come on, take me home. And I'm like, get your hands off of her. And I snatched Megan
that
back.
one might be a deep cut.
She shoved my face. And then it was all over from there. We fought all over. She was punching me. We fell. I hit my head on the windowsill of the big window. Apparently both of mine. And it was all. My mom is trying to come out, and we're telling her to get back in. I'm trying to tell Megan to get back in. She's trying to get in between Deanna and I, and she's just steadily swinging. And by this point, she has got me in a chokehold where I can't breathe. Like, she's got me down and pinned to where I can't breathe and digging into.
How did she?
Okay, so
Whoa.
Set the gun down on the table next to her. She opened the door. Chick steps in the door. The other chick comes out of the bedroom. There is yelling. It is. And then home chick jumps her and grabs her by the throat.
So she did open the door. Did she say she opened the door? Because we are.
She opened the door. She set down the gun and opened the door. She said she did that. Yes.
This is all kinds of stupid right now.
Yeah, no. See, once that door was shut, that should have been the end of that conversation. We're going to play PlayStation until they go away.
Boom.
We're gonna Netflix and pound. I mean, chill.
Something. Put on the headphones.
She
was beside me, but Megan was trying to break us up, so she had it through there.
Did she have you by her?
Actually, after thinking about it for a minute, I would probably start a live stream and explain what was going on. Holler an interview through the freaking doorway. I mean, you might as well have fun with it.
Right.
Yeah, by her hand. And then I guess she had, I was looking up, I was trying to calm it to where I could breathe because I couldn't breathe. And by this point, the chair was everywhere. We had fallen and we had went to the ground at some point. And then I heard the shots. And I look up and.
All right. So she's saying she did not have the gun. She heard the shots, and that's when she found out somebody got shot. Correct?
Yes.
All right. All right. Just ducks in a row. Ain't got no ducks. We got to get some.
My mom had shot her because we were on the ground. She still had her hand around my throat.
At any point in time, did you think that she had gotten the best of you, more or less?
Yes. I mean, I couldn't breathe. I started like blacking out, and she wasn't stopping. Megan was screaming for her to stop. My mom was screaming. Like, she was not letting go. And we had already called the police, but.
Could you speak at that time?
No, she said.
Hold on. No. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Now I was wrong in this whole thing. I think she knows what she's doing.
She said that she was awakened by banging on the door. She got her gun. She went to the door. She opened it. She talked to him. Other chick wakes up. She shuts the door. She sets down the gun. She opens the door, talks to chick. Chick attacks her. Home chick right here hears gunshots, and then someone was dead. She has no idea how that happened.
But yet you facilitated it. You got the gun out there.
When did you call the cops? How long did you sit there before you opened the door a second time is my question. Did you sit down, call the cops, and then open the door waiting for the cop, expecting the cops to show up and rescue you and prove that this woman's a bad woman?
Right. I love the setup of the story, though. She set up herself as like, defense, basically. The kids in defense.
She could have opened that door, took 2 steps back, and say, "Do not come in here." And when she did, just pop that bitch right between the eyes. Like, you can't tell yourself that's your damn fault. That ain't got nothing to do with me, man.
Girl, Izzy, what's up, you Izzy?
Izzy's rocking it. She's my primary mod tonight, I guess. I hope you're not planning on going anywhere or starting a live anytime soon, because I'm not there yet. You can't do it unless I'm there. That's dark assassination. Not you. Perish the thought, girl.
So your airway was obstructed?
Yes.
Okay. Were you in fear for your life?
Did I think if somebody hadn't gotten there quick, yes, it would have went. Because
so you felt like you were going to pass out?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
All right. And then after you heard the shots, what happened after that?
After I heard the shots,
bitch died.
She stopped fighting. I looked down and then I started rendering aid to Deanna. I told Mom to go sit down and put the gun up, because I looked up when she stopped and I had seen a little bit, but I didn't know.
Okay, so she asked for a towel, right? Like, there was a gunshot and she asked for a towel. I got $4 that says she put the towel down and wiped up the blood off the floor. That she didn't use the towel to render aid, but she used it to clean her carpets.
How many? 40 minutes. 40. Okay, thank you. All right, sorry about that. So you're saying about a towel?
Yeah, no. The other chick, the first one that we listened to, she goes on about how this happened and that happened, and it fairly closely resembles the story, with the exception of explaining where the gun was at any particular point, right? They both so far say they have no idea who got the gun or pulled the trigger. However, she admitted that she had the gun before the scuffle, but did not have it during the scuffle, that it was laid on the stand right next to the door, right? We have a mysterious call to the police that there's no time to have actually have taken place, or at least there's only one period of time that could have taken place when they locked the door and she put down the gun. Instead of putting it up, she set it next to the door, which is
right then. Or,
yeah. And supposedly she called the cops at that point, according to this one. The other one didn't say nothing about calling the cops till after somebody had been shot.
Okay.
Right. But the other one said that she asked for a towel after the shooting, but didn't say what she used the towel for. And I'm thinking she's flaky enough to have tried to clean up her rug.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's a good one.
He gets it. Okay, I wasn't reaching too hard. Okay, all right. It
Oh
makes sense
man.
if you're a good, solid, Michael Bain style narcissist.
She was shot. I looked and I seen the one in the shoulder, and then this one, and I immediately covered them and started rendering aid,
Even though she had just attacked you.
even though she was
What was Megan doing at this time?
trying to get my mom to sit down and calm down.
Someone made their bed.
Okay, we now have another unseen person that was in the room at the time that has not been mentioned to this point. Her mom.
Okay.
Which is not the other chick, Deanna, and not this one, and not the one that got shot. It's another individual that is also present. The mom.
Asleep or awake?
No, apparently was asleep until the shooting took place, then was in the room. Now, I don't know.
Now she's involved. All right.
We'll have it. Yeah, she's involved. She's involved. We definitely have a fourth person present.
Getting me a towel. She got me a towel to put on her to cover the wounds. And, this is all her.
Right.
So she was doing whatever I was, trying to get mom to calm down because mom was just pacing back and forth, but she was in shock. Yes.
Had you and Deanna had any problems in the past?
She would run her mouth. She would call my phone. She
might not be running her mouth no more, huh?
Oh gosh. I heard it coming from a mile away. Oh my goodness.
Response there, huh? Like maybe somebody. I don't know. What's up, Cliff? Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Cliff.
He's me and my fiance have been together 13 months, and she would call my phone and text my phone, but she run her mouth throughout town. She would harass Megan all the time. She'd call her, blow up her phone. She was very abusive, been abusive to her for 6 years.
How long were they together?
Wow.
6.5 years, 6 years. She was verbally, physically, mentally, and finally it got to the point where it got so bad because they have a house, but it got so bad with Megan staying there that she moved in with me and my mom, and has been there since
like a glazed donut. I got you.
Like most of her stuff is there. Her dog is there, and this is the first time that she's.
What's up, Janica? Good
she's
to see you,
known where we've lived.
Janica.
She's always thrown out threats.
So that's how she ended up there.
You, blah, blah,
okay,
but I've never,
sure. But here's the concern: how anyone or why anyone did whatever they did. The concern is where liability lies on this shooting. Is it a justified shooting in the ground, or is it? You see what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of layers here.
Because are you inviting someone in if you're opening a door? Not necessarily. So that person comes inside and they're
thing, with or without a door. I don't have to shut that damn thing. If I tell you to leave, your ass better be leaving. I mean, bouncing with the fucking quickness too. A little skip to my loo, my darling, and they're on your way out. I'm just saying, go. I don't care how you go, but go.
But then why did she open up the door, though? Right? Why you open the door to go to that confrontation?
Why open the door the second time? Why? She closed and locked the door. Why open the door the second time? That's the part that breaks everything down.
Yeah. That's
asking for it. That's where it gets fuzzy.
Oh, that's where it gets fuzzy, huh? But at the same time.
Now it depends. Let's say the mom walked in, saw her daughter getting whooped on the floor, picked up the pistol, shot her in the back of the head. That is a perfectly justified shooting under any circumstances that took place previous to what took place, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what happened before. Someone was being attacked. The mom ended that crap. She'll spend the night in jail, do some fingerprints, have a nice story to tell her friends later about how she got indicted for murder.
Get a teardrop tattoo.
Nine over the eye.
Was in January. Strangled against her.
In a month, she'll be a SoundCloud rapper. She'd be number 2.
Number 2 blowing the billboards.
She look like she'd been chewing up Skittles. Yeah, it might be
Oh,
something with
man.
us, bro. The damaged goods over here, I think. Oh my lord.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Other issues.
Who dropped it?
The
The court
judge.
system, the judge dropped
The
it?
judge dropped it because Deanna's attorney, the only 3 things they talked about was whether Megan was in a new relationship, my name, and if my car was at the house, their house, the morning of court. So nothing was talked about for the abuse or anything like that. So it was dropped. So when we left there, we went to her house to grab her dog and her belongings. Well, Deanna showed up with her mother. Deanna showed up with her new girlfriend, her mother, the fiance, and then a couple of friends, and they started showing their behind. I mean, they were all in my face, and her sister showed up trying to trip me. I never said anything to them. That's the last time that I've actually seen Deanna in person. Was in, I guess, the end of January, like 17th,
January
18th.
of this year.
Yeah, is the last time, and I didn't say anything then. We got Megan's stuff and we left. Like they were all in our face and, in my face, her and her sister threatening me, trying to trip me and this and that. So I just left because I knew it would turn into something physical if I said anything. And all we were trying to do was get Megan's stuff out.
Gotcha. Has Deanna ever come over there to your
Thank you,
to your
Izzy.
home before?
No.
So that everyone in chat knows, you yourself have a superpower with YouTube. If you hit that share button, share it to your community page or any of your other social medias, you might even meet somebody you know in here. You never know. Weird how that works.
Not this one. She followed her when I lived at my old house last year. She followed her about halfway and then turned around.
Okay. Had you had any contact with Deanna, like over the phone, as she called and threatened you or anything like that?
The last time she texted me was to tell Megan to call her.
When was that?
This weekend, I think.
What'd you say to that
I
text?
didn't respond.
You
I
didn't
never
respond at all?
responded. The last time I responded was a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, when we were in Biloxi. She texted me and told me to tell Meg to call her, and I said no, I won't. And she said, why the fuck not? And I never responded after that. But she just was blowing up Megan's phone yesterday from work, screaming at her and all kinds of stuff. Like this has been an ongoing thing between them and I've always stayed out of it. I've never texted her anything inappropriate, like anything like that.
Hello, John Eagle. Welcome to the show. It is good to see you. Thank you for coming through.
So she was texting Megan.
Well, they talked.
Yeah, I am laying it on a little thick. I got Lawless over here, and he can out-talk me, so.
No, stop it.
Definitely going to have to bring my A game. Maybe lick the mic a few times.
Oh, my goodness. Good evening.
She was at work. She called her from her work phone at Blackwater.
That was yesterday, right?
Yes. She was mad because Megan wouldn't go to the house and feed Deanna's dogs. And then it went downhill from there. I shouldn't say downhill. She called her a couple of times and then she quit calling after Deanna hung up on Megan.
Well, she knows that you guys are together and
in a world with a voice.
And does she still have a new girlfriend?
I would assume so. I don't know though. We don't communicate like that. Deanna would tell her, but then it got to where she wasn't. I don't know.
So why would she keep calling?
Because she's been abusive and controlling and for so long that it's when Megan finally stopped doing for her or stopped being the paycheck or whatever. It's been like this for a year. And it's just she's never let it go. This is the first time. Why she showed up, I have no idea. I mean, the car was still running. Was she drunk? I think she was drunk.
When did she get off of work, or was she supposed to?
She got off of work at 8:00 last night. She works 8 to 8 at Blackwater. Like we took the house key to Deanna's mother yesterday and put it in the mailbox so her mother could go feed the dog, and then went back at 8:30 and picked it up.
All right, so there seems to be a lot of activity to extricate this woman from this entire existence.
Mm.
Like we was living there, and then she moved out, then I moved out. Now nobody lives over there, and right, like, and then we sent her a damn key, and we went home. We shut the door, and she just kept on.
Yeah, they're trying to really place her out of not
I bet the mama
living
capped her.
there.
I bet you the mom capped her. The mom woke up, walked in, saw what was going on, picked up the pistol, and capped her right in the middle of the chest. Like
They don't want mom to go to jail either. That's for sure.
She probably turned it sideways and everything.
Woo! My man.
OG style.
She shows up. I mean, there was plenty of nights that she would go out drinking in her uniform.
That's hard to believe.
Okay.
I've seen
I can't speak
Cheech.
for sure.
I've never met Chong. I've seen Cheech in an airport,
Janica.
It's the only option because she lives off of West Roberts.
like
She hangs out
100
in
yards
Hollow.
away. He was way over there, and I'm almost positive it was him.
All right. What
I am
injuries do
positive
you
it
have
was
other
him.
than your obvious one?
It was
Your neck,
definitely
scratch on your face.
I don't know. I mean, we went. The back of my head hurts from where I hit the windowsill when she.
Do you need anybody to come and check all that out?
That's the end of Amy's interview. I've next got the interview of their mother, Ollie. But just to bring you up to speed in case you were confused, Deanna, the victim,
This is the last individual that was alive in the room when the gun went off. One of these three people pulled the trigger. There is no two ways about that. Let's see what she has to say for herself. But look at out of the box. Does this look like a reliable witness to you?
Nah.
That woman looked like she took her Ambien right before she went to bed.
Yeah.
Cut her whole night really, really short. And look, you look straight at the officer and be like, I had the wildest dream. What was the We blasted thugs. Like, what?
Oh man.
I don't know, dude. I might be a little insensitive.
came to the house. Amy opens. She attacks Amy. She's strangling Amy, right? Megan tries to take her off. And then Ollie, the mother who was asleep, got the gun. And after a couple of warnings, she shoots Deanna, who died. So
What?
for me,
All right,
What?
so yeah, no, Mama got up, popped the cap in the bitch's ass. That's exactly
After
what
a
happened.
couple warnings, so now there's
And
warnings.
she's like, "Let her go." I told you to let her go.
Let her go now.
Yes, bitch.
Yo.
Look like a midget next to them. Izzy has the pics in a short bid. It was fun meeting them. Yeah, no, homie's little. He's little. He's smaller than he looks. He wears lifts and shit, and the camera and is shot to make him look taller than he actually is. Homie's like Danny DeVito short.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. There's your killer, the one with the gray hairs.
everything they're saying, I think it did happen. The question that remains is, was the action taken the right action to be taken?
Absolutely.
Let's have a look at Ollie's interrogation first, and then we can conclude on this case.
Tell me what started this whole thing this morning. What were you doing? Where were you at in the house when all this started?
Sleeping on my couch like I always do.
Okay, so you were asleep right there just inside the door.
Mhm.
And what did you hear or what did you see?
The doorbell rang and I looked out the window like I always do because that's weird. Somebody ringing the doorbell.
That early in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something or somebody tried to come charging in. And
Were they having words back and forth then? Were they yelling at each other? Was Amy telling them to?
Amy was screaming at her to get out, get off the porch, get away.
What's up, Tails? Welcome in. Tails told in the dark.
Is she missing it? No, it's there.
What?
She's.
What I miss? Hold up.
Is she missing a leg? There's a leg there. That's a leg, right? even tell now. Holy
I
shit.
was reading chat.
Somebody ring the door.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Somebody tried to come charging in. And
Were they having words back and forth? Then?
I
Were they
got
yelling
you.
at each
I
other?
got you
Was
now.
Amy
I'm sorry. No, she won't get far on one foot. No. I feel so stupid. I'm just sitting here looking around trying to figure out why would anybody be missing a fucking leg? I've yet to Jesus, I seriously say, no, she's not a pirate. I don't see a pirate or an outback.
She's not a pirate. You got me crying over here, bro.
Oh,
You're killing me.
it's too emotional. I do apologize.
Oh gosh. Oh.
You okay? Breathe, dude. I don't want to lose you tonight.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So no, she's not a pirate. She's not missing a leg. She's sitting on it. Apparently she's never mind.
telling them to?
Amy was hanging out to get off the porch, get away.
I know what you're talking about.
And
He smokes a corn cob pipe on Sundays.
I don't know, she just started beating on everybody.
Who did she jump on first that you saw?
Amy. And then I went out there to try to help them, and she started beating on me.
Where did she hit you at, Miss Pinky?
What?
I was so scared.
It's understandable. Sweetheart. You had every right to be scared. You were just woken up out of your sleep.
She
All right.
just started punching in the head. He got me in a corner, started.
Started hitting you on the right side of the head.
Hold up.
Well, you
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they ain't nobody said nothing about Mama getting involved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, your mom was walking around. Your mom was what? Walking around. She was in the room. Yeah, then she shot her. Like what? Wait, hold on.
So like when I heard that, I was like, what? Okay. Whatever.
What was the
Three
other
people.
bitches doing? There was three other bitches in that room.
How many people are there?
Oh, lady.
There's like 5 people, and 6 people, including the dead. So there's 6 different stories there.
No, 4.
Oh, okay. Well, the dead person's 5 then, right?
No, that's one of them. It was the one that was shot,
Okay. Well,
the one that answered the door, the mom, and then the other chick that got up and joined the fray after the fact.
Gosh. 4 stories, and I guarantee you ain't none of them gonna match up. That's ridiculous.
I guess you could say 3 stories and a dead bitch.
Yeah. 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 One story ain't gonna be told, that's for sure.
I don't mean to be insensitive, but I am the tie.
But I mean,
were you on the porch or were you inside?
I was half at my house, half on the porch.
Okay.
She was pulling me out.
She was trying to pull you out of the house. Do you remember her saying anything to you?
Yes. Yes, Cliff.
No,
it's exactly what you're thinking.
Telling her, please go, please go. I didn't hurt anybody. So I picked up the gun. I shot a warning shot. I really did.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right now, I want to be perfectly clear with absolutely everybody here and everybody in chat. Lawless, I want you to pay attention. There is no such thing as a fucking warning shot. That is not a myth. That is a crime. You will be charged.
Oh my gosh.
That is reckless discharge of a firearm. And
there you go.
If somebody's getting their ass whipped currently, that's reckless discharge of a firearm, use of a firearm during a felony. So you do better just popping that bitch in the back of the head and not letting her know shit. Let her wake up with the angels, and you'll just, have to go stand in front of 12 people and be like, hey, yo, look, she came at me.
I don't get this. So Sasquatch, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time I heard of a warning shot being fired. Am I tripping?
No. Even the president himself suggested warning shots, but this is not an actual thing. You cannot
No. I didn't know that they even shot first. I thought that only one shot was fired in the instant, and that's all.
Two shots.
Oh, 2 shots. Oh, okay. All right. So
here's the thing. Once you pull the trigger on me, you're going to play hell hitting me because my feats is quickness. On volition. I don't even have to program
shot.
Tell them where to go.
She called it a warning shot because she missed.
What's up, King Bluto? Good to see you.
she missed. So that was a warning shot.
Right. I ain't throwing a bitch. I'm just saying, no warning shot next time. Just go ahead and shoot the bitch. She's choking your daughter out. You have my permission. Sasquatch says if someone tries to kill you and yours, you kill them back, but better.
Oh, the storage door not. But I fired a warning, told her to leave, and she still had Amy and Megan on the ground.
That's right. That's what you do. She's over there checking your daughter out. You lean over, stick the gun in the back of her head, and say, "Tell me about the rabbits. Tell me about the rabbits."
Oh man, stop it, Sasquatch! Stop. Just look for. Just keep on doing it. Just tell me about the rabbits. Stop it. No. No, it's wrong.
Oh man, we go to hell. I'll save you a seat.
Oh, dude, this is bad, dude. It's bad. I should stop.
That's a poor woman, though. I mean, she ain't want to shoot nobody when she took that Ambien.
Yeah. Right. Truth be told,
she said, "No, not quite sure this shit's happening."
That's great.
Beat me up. I popped the catheter. I mean, I gave her a warning shot or 3. I mean, 2 shots. 2.
Two shots.
Did she? When you were yelling for someone to call the police, had she already taken your cell phone?
And
did
threw it.
She snatch it out of your hand? What was she doing?
Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. You're never late. You arrived precisely when you mean
fist?
Yeah. She was doing everything, even Megan. I was so scared.
What was Amy saying?
Amy kept telling her to get off the porch and go home. She was drunk. Megan kept telling her.
And so you picked up. Where was the gun laying?
Hello, coffee artist. Welcome in.
Good
to see you.
On my TV.
Okay. You picked up the gun.
Why didn't I pick it up? I just wanted to scare her and make her go away. She was hurting everybody. She was going to kill us.
You tell her.
It was me.
I believe her. Everyone else went at it like they were telling a comic book story. This
going,
I had to blast the bitch. I didn't want to do it, but she made me do it. Look what you made me did.
Listen to him, everybody. Listen to what Sasquatch is saying. It's so true. I mean, she's so emotionally like, I mean, she's really at it. And everybody's like, and this happened. And I recall when I went this, when people are very detailed about storytelling, they're really trying to persuade you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I remember strange details. Like I might not notice that it was a bus, but I can tell you it was a 1957 International.
It's a different story. Oh my goodness! Now that just sounds like you like that type of stuff.
I don't
You're like, oh great, now
know what color it was. I couldn't tell you. There's no like it had windshields.
Like,
You get
hey,
the
wait.
license plate. No, the guy driving was left-handed. What? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh
Just
man, I hear
see the
you.
world different, I guess.
No, I hear you on that.
But I didn't shoot, did I? I shot shots at the door, warning shots.
Warning shots at the door.
Trying to get her back.
Get her, go away, go away, go away.
Did you
Oh, turn into a song. Here, go away, go
That needs to be
away,
a
go
remix.
away.
You know, I don't know anybody. What do we need? We need some auto tune.
For real.
Mix. We need to do a dance mix over it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's bad.
We could be famous for all the wrong reasons and be great.
All the wrong reasons.
Infamous.
cause harm to you guys?
Yeah.
Did you ever see her choking Megan or see her choking Amy?
I seen her. She would go from one to the other. She had one of them down with her arm around their neck, and they were gasping. And
Well, you did what you had to do, sweetheart.
that was like, I'm not like that.
Nobody said
I'm a good person.
listen to me.
All right,
I've been wrong 2 for 2 here, Sasquatch. I've been wrong 2 for 2. I said yes to the other person, no to this one. Man.
Hypothetically speaking, right? Had she walked in there and her defense being she came in my house, attacked my daughter, and I blasted that bitch to kingdom come, would that have been as effective as this? Yeah, if she'd have sat there with a set of dominoes, building little dominoes, stone hinges or something while she explained that.
I think it'll be as effective, but at the same time, I still think they'll be asking a lot of questions like, well, what's going on?
This is crazy love triangle too. And another example of not don't fuck with mama. Leave mama alone. She packing heat.
Pretty much.
I wonder what the problem was. I'm just curious. I bet it was like a Glock. I bet you that woman was made indignant by being shot with a Glock. She's like, no, not the 26. Those suck. It's like by a high point. You were like one of 5 bullets that got shot by a high point this year that actually fired and didn't jam. You unlucky bastard. I mean, you had a 50-50 chance on that one.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Oh, her family.
Hey, don't worry about that family right now.
No, your family don't matter. Don't worry about it.
You gotta do what you gotta do to protect yourself.
Be right back, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Wait, who was it that just brought up the leg?
Nobody
Janica?
thinks you're mean.
Leg must be falling asleep. I don't know. She may not even have a leg, but he's certainly rubbing up on that nub. Holy shit. Like, homie, that's somebody's grandmama. You need to like not maybe violate her like that. Bro, ease up. Like, if that was my daughter, I'd be a little upset with you. It's a little high of the hemline, if you get what I'm saying.
I for sure don't think that you're mean.
I just wanted her to go away.
And you said in your own words, you said that you thought that she was going to kill y'all.
I got really happy.
How did you get cut? Do you
I don't
remember?
know. I honestly, I don't know. She had me at one point. I don't know.
NH Mountain Girl, you are wrong. I will save you a spot in hell right next to me. That you're wrong for that.
I don't know what happened.
And she was hitting you at some time.
Yeah, my head hurt. I just
Let me
got
get you
over
some
shingles.
paintings.
I just got over shingles.
But
Maybe she is
unfortunately,
a fucking pirate. I don't know. She don't got no
you
leg over
fired
there,
those
dude.
shots. You struck Deanna, and she is now deceased.
Oh my God.
But
No, I didn't mean to hurt.
I know you didn't mean to, sweetheart. But you had to protect yourself, and you have to protect your family. You're in your own home. Okay.
Agreed. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Fools got to be blasted.
I know you didn't mean for this type of thing to happen. There's no ill will. There's no intent here for this to happen. That girl came over on her own.
Right?
She started fighting with Amy, and she starts fighting with Megan. Then she starts harming you in your home. You
When
stand
what she should have done was sat in the corner and think about the things she's done with her life. You think she's a pirate? I can't figure that out at all, man. That woman's leg has slipped into an extra dimensional space over there somewhere. I don't know what to tell you. Homie just rubbing on the nub like that shit okay just a minute ago. I don't get it. Is it like a magic trick? I'm so fucking confused.
you ground. You do what you have to do to protect yourself and to protect your home and the people inside your home. And you did that.
Well, the scratches. All right. So she did say that when she first walked into the room, the chick threw down her daughter and turned and attacked her, and then stopped attacking her and jumped back on her daughter. And it was after the chick stopped attacking her and went back to her daughter that she picked up the cannon and blasted her in the middle of next month. What's up, Queen Bird? Good to see you, darling. Pinned in the chat is tomorrow night's The Blast Radio Show. I think I screwed up the sync because we sort of changed our minds on what we were doing, and I went in and changed it, and I think it unsynced his link. Unsynced his link. That rhymes. So satisfying.
Oh my God. Oh, I don't hurt no. I walk away from her. I don't hurt nobody. What happened?
Right? We just see her stand up. We'll lose my shit. So go pull a leg out of like an invisible cast.
Sit with you, sweetheart. She's worried about you.
I'm supposed to be the strong one.
Yeah, you was. You blasted her. You did good.
Miss Plunkin, you did take care of your children. You did the right thing.
It's the day of Saturnus.
You did the right thing. You had to take care of yourself. You had to protect yourself and protect your family. You're in your own home. Okay?
Absolutely okay.
Amy loves you.
Busier than a one-legged stripper doing a table hop.
Don't be ashamed of yourself.
Welcome to Story Time with Sasquatch. So, back when I was doing bar bets for drinking money, I would carry a prosthetic leg in my trunk. And anytime I had an opportunity, whatever, I'd be like, oh, well, I have a prosthetic leg. I might be sitting there at the bar wearing a pair of shorts, be like, I got a prosthetic leg. They look down at my legs and be like, no, you don't. I bet $20 I got a prosthetic leg. They look back down at my legs, be like, there's certainly no prosthetic leg there. And I'd be like, I got a prosthetic leg there. $20 on the bar to see it. Put $20 on the bar, go out to the car, get the prosthetic leg, come back in, lay it on the bar, and pay for my tab.
Is there a red tripping off that leg right there? Is she sitting on her legs, about to pass out?
There's still been no sign of this mythical leg, but he's
mythical leg.
He was violating grandma over here, easing up on the stump like he went 10 degrees north of the hemline, bro. Like he was checking to see if the leg was there too. Like,
oh man. Oh wow, that's a good one. That's a good
Oh
one.
my God, did you say she's dead?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh Lord. Oh,
But
Lord.
listen to me. This girl has a pattern of violence towards people.
I didn't mean to burn.
I know you
Oh no, he forgot to mute before he took that off.
Mercy, what am I going to tell my
Sonic's playing
grandkids?
basketball over there.
The grandma's a
Oh,
murderer.
jeez.
Miss Pumpkin. Listen to me, sweetheart. You're not a murderer. Look at
Well, you damn
a
sure
murderer is
killer.
somebody that goes
That's
out there
for a
with ill
fact.
will and intent to commit a crime.
Oh.
That's you,
Oh my goodness.
not you. You're not a murderer. You
Yeah,
stood
look
your
at him.
ground, protected
Violate
yourself, and
grandma.
protected your
He's
home.
over here up Stump
The
North.
people inside.
Oh wow.
Okay?
Stump North. Straight violation, yo. She's actually backing up too, like, whoa.
I mean, he crowded on her. She covered some chick's blood. He seems to be slightly aroused by this prospect. Like, I'm so confused. Where's that fucking leg at, yo?
Oh, wow.
Lawless, explain it to me.
He's getting close, though. He's getting close.
You getting real near, man. Like,
Oh
very,
my
very
God.
familiar.
Oh.
Your stepdaddy.
Oh, mind blown.
That leg may pop up.
Oh my gosh.
Say me in hell. I think you might make it there first.
Oh wow.
Hey, Queen Bird, you can't be upset about her not having a bra on. She took her Ambien and went to bed. Woke up blasted bitches. She's doing good for Where's the leg at though?
The world may never know.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Let's see if we can figure it out.
Next on the Twilight Zone.
She brought this upon herself. She came to your house.
Keep rubbing it. Keep
You're
rubbing
laying
it.
there asleep on your couch right next to your front door.
Pat it. Come on, pat it.
You're not
Pat
a
it again.
murderer.
Come
Look
on.
at me
Touch
here. Okay? I don't want you to think that. By her own choice.
A little further.
She's the one that showed up over there and attacked you guys.
She ain't even flinched.
What are they going to think of me now? Because I'm going to be fired from my job.
Why would you be fired? You're protecting yourself, Miss Plunkett.
They have.
Because I be blasting fools.
I don't know why I just said
And so with Marcus Savage. I know Marcus personally.
I wish I could talk.
Stop it.
Oh, we're back for thirds. He's back up there. He's on the nub.
Oh,
And
man.
Mr. Russell next door blesses.
He does. He really does like that nubby. Oh.
Everybody heard. Only if he was out. If I could have
You little pug dog.
that's pretty good.
Scotty's got it right. Officer, if you got a
They're all
Quaalude,
still there.
you know I just shot a bitch, right? Anybody around here got a value?
Is there a
Kind of freaking out a little bit.
Personally, I haven't contacted any of them yet. I wanted to get your side of it and talk with you and talk with Amy. And talk with
Wagasashi.
Again,
All right,
go wrong, they're
look,
probably gonna come get me now.
Just do me a favor there, C4T cat.
Probably
Don't
family and
don't spam
everybody
would
are
be
gonna
good.
Mad.
you. You don't worry about that. Miss Plunkett, you did what you had to do to protect yourself. That woman was attacked.
Because he.
She's a whole lot younger than you. She
Attack.
knows better than that.
She drunk.
I don't know that she's drunk. I know what Megan says. I know what Megan says.
Grammy with a pair of Glocks is badass.
A pair.
I can't feel my knee.
It's killing him.
It's just one of a
I'm
kind.
so confused right now.
Oh, man.
There's a leg. There's a leg. We have leg. We have leg.
Oh! How?
Solve
How?
the mystery.
How, bitch? How?
She was sitting on it the whole time.
The whole time.
You know that thing like dead, like an old dead fish, right? Like the thing had no blood in it for a minute.
Bro, blew her knee out and everything. How?
Like in Mandela effect. It's like there wasn't a leg, but now there is.
Now there is.
Scully,
Oh,
you're hurting
man.
me. You're hurting me, bro.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Hey,
He's
Sasquatch.
gonna do a little top off here at the end where everybody gets together and they have a group hug and everybody lives happily.
Oh, my
Wait,
gosh.
that was the never ending story. This story, they're all gonna have a gunfight in the lobby.
Don't you dare.
She
That
was
sounds about right.
You do it,
Stop.
thank you.
Listen to me. Stop.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about this, but in my brain, I see Grandma standing there like Malibu Most Wanted. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Rip, rip. Yeah, these special effects is good. Rip.
Oh, man. Dude, she done
Where you
bad.
learn all this shit? Antithado.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Stop. Look at me. Stop. Right now. Stop. Stop.
All right, I gotta get up out here. They're calling me over here, Sasquatch. I appreciate you having me up in the
Popular
building.
as fuck. You know that shit, right?
What's that?
I said you popular as fuck. That's why I'm calling you. You cool, brother. I appreciate you coming by. Y'all have a good one.
All right, man. I'll see you again, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So,
Stop.
We're gonna let this roll on here for a few minutes just so we can verify that the leg functions and it's not just a hologram.
she was hurting me. What's my shoulder? I didn't mean to. She at the door.
It's okay.
Everybody blasting
I was
fools.
hurting.
Look, seriously, Sasquatch proves protect yourself and one other person. You'll be good.
Megan's gonna hate.
No, she's not.
Yeah, Lawless is good, folks.
She's not.
I like having him around.
Yes, she did.
Why would she hate you?
Because
Defended us. Mom.
but look what they're
You want to go check your wallet? Why?
Stop.
She has a son.
I don't understand.
Stop. Stop.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm making light of this whole situation, but
I put my glasses on my face.
wait,
and
there's
broke
one last
my
little bit of
phone.
them together. Hold up.
I don't know.
I do understand, Mom. I do.
I don't at the door. Thinking that was scared off. That's Russell, okay?
Russell's fine.
I think I shot it. I don't know.
Stop.
I
Stop.
shot her.
Stop. Right now. Calm down.
I don't remember doing it.
Stop. Calm down. Okay?
Stop.
Yeah, because that works when talking to women.
Shot at the door.
Telling a woman to calm down is the most effective thing you can do in a conversation.
Take a deep breath and calm down. Please.
Oh, you
You
got
just-
scratches.
Stop. I'm okay.
Oh.
Stop. Look at me.
Where's Megan?
She's in the other room. They're not done with her yet. They have to do the same thing they do to us. Stop. You're not.
Right, no.
He
Mama,
said,
you capped somebody. You took care of the family. You did
So,
a good
now
thing.
that you've seen all three interrogations, was this an act of self-defense? Well,
Absolutely.
let me read this out to you, which is the outcome of the case. The state attorney's office determined it will not file charges in relation to the shooting death of Deanna Stevenson. Right? Let me continue. The sheriff's office and state attorney's office had been investigating the woman's death for more than 3 months to determine whether it was justified that she was killed.
Well, here's the thing, little Pakistan English guy. Second that chick crossed her threshold, that was Mama's house. Regardless of who she attacked in Mama's house, if that's Mama's gun and Mama's house and Mama's threshold, Mama cap your ass. Facts. Let's see whether or not she went to jail. You think so? I don't know.
In such a case, it's standard procedure for the police agency to investigate the incident, right? And followed by a review of the state. It determined that Ollie Plunkett, the mother who fired the shot, acted in self-defense when she shot Stevenson. So, so you guys understand. I'm from Britain, but I now live in America. When I first came to America, I was very anti-gun because in England, there are no guns, right? And we can't understand why in America there are so many guns. However, having lived in America, and now that I've understood the Second Amendment, I don't have an opinion on guns anymore because it's ignorant of me to apply where I'm from onto America without understanding the context of America, right? And the Second Amendment is the fabric of American life. Therefore, them having a gun and all that kind of stuff, that's not a problem. But should she have shot Deanna? And that's
Absolutely.
where I am stuck. I actually don't know because the
First of
description.
all, having listened to the whole story, I do not believe Deanna would have killed anyone, although she may have injured several people in the process. The cops had been called, supposedly. Only one person said the cops had been called, and before the gunshots, but I don't think the cops actually got called till after the gunshots. And so that's a moot point. Home chick walks in, sees somebody beating their daughter down, gets attacked herself. Chick goes back to beating her daughter down. Hey, there's a blast pistol right here. I'm an American wizard, Harry. Alaka blam.
By all the suspects was pretty graphic,
Hey,
right?
Queen, you were watching the slow red pilling of a left-wing loon. That is what you're seeing. So, yeah, I know they banned kitchen knives, and they're still carving turkeys. Those poor damn turkeys. You can only get rid of the carving knives.
She grabbed her by the neck, she put her down on the floor, she was strangling her, she couldn't breathe, etc., etc., etc. Ollie did also fire a warning shot, but did she really need to kill her? Or maybe she
There
fired
is
the
no
shot
such
and
thing as a warning shot. That is called reckless discharge of a firearm and is chargeable in most states. So, yeah, stop that. That's not a
didn't
thing.
intend for her to die, or maybe she didn't intend for her to. Maybe she tried shooting elsewhere and she aimed accidentally.
She could
You
have
know what I
walked.
mean?
She could
And
have
from
come
her
in and been
tears,
like, I whispered some really cold shit in her ear right before I pulled the trigger, but I did tell her to leave. I'd be like, get out, get out, get the fuck out. Blast, blast, blast. You tell me to get out, I'm getting the fuck out. I'm getting right the fuck out. You holding a gun when you say it? My feet are leaving without any contact from my brain. I might still be talking shit on the way out the door because I hadn't registered yet.
when realizing that Deanna had died, to me they were genuine. They were sincere. But as I said, I'm not a lawyer, and I wasn't raised in America, so the Second Amendment to me does not mean as much as what it would to an American. So why don't you guys comment and you tell me what was the best course of action?
Best course of action. Blast that bitch, I'm telling you. All right. So the Owamkampi. So for, I don't know, 1,000 years, these things appeared on Assyrian and Persian and Egyptian, and some of the Hellenistic temples had pictures of what appeared for all the world to be tiny giraffes, little bitty feckers. They were often depicted in groups of people leading them as if they were a horse or something, but they were always like at the back of the line, and the children appeared to be the ones who tended them. And while this animal has been depicted on all kinds of like reliefs and stuff For most of the modern era, we had no idea such a thing existed. It was thought to represent a mythical creature that had never existed. It was just a thing that was put in there to represent good fortune or plenty or something like that. But it turns out the damn thing's real. And not only was it real, it's still alive. It's out there. So this is a case of a mythical creature which broke the mythology because it's still there.
2,500 years ago.
Let's do it right there. We got to do the right thing. You know, we're going to do the right thing. Go ahead and drop that link over there. Like
The first Persian Empire had been established.
Welcome in, Princess. Good
It stretched from modern-day Greece to northwestern India, from Central Asia down to northeastern Africa. Its ceremonial capital was Persepolis. After the empire was established, delegates from every region of this new empire brought tributes to the capital. Their gifts included an exotic array of produce, product, flora, and fauna.
Product, that's right.
Artisans were contracted to depict the procession on the facade of the Apadana, an audience hall in the capital. And of those depicted, one group are the Ethiopian delegates. Men carrying treasures and riding horses are shown. And in the midst of the scene is a group of three boys
Look at that
eating
thing.
a strange-looking animal to give as a gift to the empire.
Is that like a midget giraffe? What is that thing? You've sold me queer giraffes. I don't get it. What is this thing? I mean, I remember looking at books when I was a kid and seeing little things like this. Like there's a stegodontus looking thing that's on some of the Angkor Wat pyramids over there. That I don't know. I don't know, man. It's all creepy as hell.
To those who saw the facade over the millennia, it was likely just seen as a strange, exotic animal that they knew nothing about. But as we came into the age of science, the identity of this animal became a bit of a mystery. In many ways, it appeared to be similar to a well-known African animal,
right?
the giraffe. It seemed to have a longer than normal neck and two conspicuous short horns on top of its head. But there were a few problems. For one, it wasn't nearly tall enough. It's clear that this animal was much smaller than a giraffe, as the people shown to be leading it were depicted as boys, as evidenced by their lack of beards. The neck was also too short, and of course, it had no spots.
Yeah, no, I thought goat when I was a kid.
But this animal was known to a group of people in Central Africa. However, it wouldn't be for another 2,500 years until the rest of the world would come to know of its existence. Welcome back to All About Nature. On my channel, I try to bring nature-related content that's both educational and entertaining. If you like this kind of content, consider liking the video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel. I'd like to take a moment to thank my patrons, including my newest patrons, Ria and Rodrigo.
I wouldn't stop you.
Thank you all for supporting the channel. And if you want to become a patron to get early access to videos and
check this out,
have a say in what
Stegosaurus has died out bajillions of years ago, but there was a critter called a stegodont that may have existed up until the Roman era. And it vaguely resembled the same sort of literary description. You know, if you like designed a goose by rote description, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You probably have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
With the mythical was ever present. Stories of dragons and ogres, sea monsters and unicorns. In Europe during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, mysterious long horns began to show up in markets.
That was one of the theories for like a little while between like the 14th century and the 19th century. People were saying, well, maybe they had found some way of acquiring llamas because it does kind of look like a llama, but llamas don't have horns at all. They're camelids. They're not like giraffes. They're not deer.
These spiraled horns didn't belong to any known animal to the people of Europe, so they attributed the horns to an animal that they had heard of but had never seen: the unicorn. Unicorns were present in various ancient texts. The Greeks believed in unicorns, and so did
That
the
is
Persians.
nightmare fuel.
Unicorns are even mentioned in the Bible. An animal called Ra'em is mentioned 9 times in the Bible and was believed to be a large horned animal. When the
Always-
King James Version of the Bible was published in 1611,
I've always thought it was a
Ra'em was
specific
translated
goat.
as unicorn in English,
Goat-
and public
goat-
fascination with the animal
goat-
was solidified.
Wait a second. Hold
Of
on.
course,
A Gotcher-Grifficorn? I want 2 of those. I did a short today that got 9 views, and I'm a little perturbed by it because I thought it was kind of funny, but it showed a piece of equipment firing like artillery kind of randomly, and I don't think YouTube liked it at all. Deer have fangs in some countries, yeah, because it's the geographic area the deer. No, those are yeah, you're right. They have toofuses. They're very fang. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're correct.
of course, these horns, while real, were not from a unicorn at all. They were in fact tusks from an animal that was only found in one small spot of the Old World, in north-central Russia. Narwhals inhabit these cold waters, and many a hunter got rich by exploiting the European fascination with unicorn horns. By the late 18th century, Europeans had moved away from the fanatical and into the realms of science. They were in the depths of a taxonomy obsession and were traveling the world classifying as many biological species as they could. When they weren't out collecting specimens, they were writing about their travels, and an interest among the European public with the mysteries of far-off places began. The first encounter Europeans had with the African unicorn came in 1804. John Barrow published a book on his travels in South Africa between 1797 and 1798. In his book, he told of the local bushman who had assured him that single-horned animals did indeed exist in the area.
So, and I'm not positive about this. I know there's an Indian rhino and an African rhino. There's a white rhino and a black rhino. I have no idea which one of them that their thingies has the one horn. There is a one-horned rhino out there. And is it not possible these folks might have seen a one-horned rhino and been like, oh yeah, sure, there's an animal with one horn. Which, if I saw a rhino at a distance and all I saw it had was a spear, I might not get close enough to see the horn. There's a rock moving out there. Let's go this way. There's no rocks moving over there.
While they themselves hadn't seen them,
Hello, Glass
they had
Garden.
seen
Welcome
drawings
in.
in caves of these one-horned animals. He visited some caves with the Bushmen along the Zuraberg mountain range, but every cave that they went to, the animals depicted were familiar and not the one-horned unicorns being sought. Barrow was on a specific mission to find a unicorn, so he asked them to try again. A week later, they embarked on a long expedition to the Tarka Mountains.
Our object was to find among the drawings the representation of an unicorn. One of our party promised to bring us directly to the spot where he knew such a drawing stood. We still continued our search in the kloofs of the mountains in the hope of meeting with the figure of the unicorn, the peasantry being equally sanguine to convince me of the truth of their assertions as I was to gratify curiosity.
Imagine talking to somebody who speaks that way. To the kloofs of the mountain? Kloofs. Sanguine. To gratify curiosity. Assertions.
We came at length to a very high and
Good. I bet it was
concealed
a long
kloof,
time.
at the head of which was a deep cave covered in front by thick shrubbery. One of the party mounted up the steep ascent, and having made his way through the close brushwood, he gave us notice that the sides of the cavern were covered with drawings.
After clearing the shrubs to let in the light, Barrow claims that he saw this drawing. Only the head was visible, as in front of it was a large drawing of an elephant. He claimed that this was the evidence that the unicorn was real. In his book, he goes on to claim that he offered large sums of money to the Bushmen to find the animal. But the story stops there. Naturally,
mind a little
many
bush.
were
It's
skeptical
okay.
of his claims. The main issue was that his drawing seemed far more like a European depiction of a unicorn than that of an African cave drawing. The other issue was that this cave was never found again. There's no evidence that it existed at all. Animals that seem to have a single horn aren't uncommon in ancient cave art, but this is really a matter of style. Cave art was interested in capturing the essence of the shape of an animal, not in creating a detailed 3D rendering. Many two-horned
Pretty sure I've
animals were
seen this in
depicted
Fern
with a
Gully.
single horn. So, even if Barrow had in fact seen a drawing with one horn, it wouldn't necessarily stand to reason that the animal depicted had only one horn in real life. But what's more interesting
Welcome in,
about
new
Barrow's
viewer.
account
Good
of
to see you.
unicorns are the 3 stories he claims to have heard from other contemporary European explorers in Africa.
Adrian van Jarveld of Kamdeboe in Graaf Reinet shot an animal a few years ago at the point of the Bambosberg that was entirely unknown to any of the colonists. The description he gave me of it in writing, taken, as he said, from a memorandum made at the time, was as follows. The figure came nearest to that of the quagga, but of a much larger size, being 5 feet high and 8 feet long, the ground color yellowish, with black stripes. Of these were 4 curved ones on each side of the head, 11 of the same kind between the neck and shoulder, and 3 broad-waved lines running longitudinally from the shoulder to the thigh. Mane short and erect, ears 6 inches long and striped across. Tail like the quagga. On the center of the forehead was an excrescence of a hard, bony substance covered with hair and resembling the rudiments of a horn. The length of this with the hair was 10 inches. About the same time, Jaart van der Walt of Olifants River in Swellendam, in company with his brother, saw near the same place an animal exactly of the shape of a horse and somewhat larger than the quagga that had longitudinal black stripes on a light ground. It was grazing among a herd of elands. The 2 brothers, having been some time without food, from their anxiety first to secure an eland, neglected the striped animal, intending afterwards to give chase to it. But his speed was so wonderfully swift that bounding towards the mountains, he was presently out of their sight. Martinus Prinsloo of Brointjes Hoogte, when on a hunting excursion, saw behind the same mountain several wild horses, entirely different from either the quagga or the zebra, but they were so shy that they never would approach them sufficiently near to make minute distinctions. They appeared to be of a light cinereous color, without stripes. The black and buff zebra, even when very near it, and especially if in motion, appears of a dull, bluish ash color, like the common ass. It is therefore probable that the
It's an
animals
ass.
described by the 3 different persons were of the same species. Weiland also, who may generally be depended on when he speaks of animals, mentions his having chased beyond the Namaquas day after day in vain an Isabella-colored zebra. This also, in all probability, was of the same kind as the others.
The identity of these animals is still not known today. Was it just a quagga, or perhaps a Nyala antelope, which at the time had still not yet been scientifically documented?
There's no fuzzy tufts on that thing at the top, man. Oh, there. Okay.
If so, Why do the accounts speak of black stripes and a single horn on the forehead? The identity of the animals in these accounts remains a mystery. The next accounts of Europeans seeing African unicorns are from nearly a century later, in 1890. Sir Henry M. Stanley was an author, soldier, journalist, politician, and colonial administrator in a region of Central Africa that at the time was referred to as the Congo Free State. Stanley was famous back in the UK as an explorer, having traveled along much of the Nile and Congo rivers. He wrote of his journeys in a series of books he published. One was titled In Darkest Africa and came in 2 volumes. In the second volume, Stanley tells the story of a visit with a pygmy people group known as the Wambuti, and of an animal that they claimed to encounter on occasion in the jungle.
The Wambuti knew a donkey and called it Ati. They say that they sometimes catch them in pits. What they can find to eat is a wonder. They eat leaves.
The animal the Wambuti were referring to was a mystery to science, and so it intrigued readers all the more. Stanley was friends with an English artist, linguist, and fellow colonial administrator named Sir Harry Johnston. The pair discussed the possible identity of this Ati animal and became particularly interested in it. Meanwhile, other reports of the African unicorn were surfacing. The Belgians were also highly active in Central Africa at the time, and in 1897,
Taking
reports
Jesuits.
of an interesting animal came to them from the Momvas tribe of northeastern Congo. They called the animal Ndumbe and said it looked similar to the Europeans' donkeys that they used to carry their supplies, but that it was taller than a buffalo, maroon-brown across the body, having black and white stripes across the rump and legs, and being graceful like a zebra in form and
You
finish.
go look into the practices of the
Throughout the
Jesuit priests when
1800s,
they would
the
encounter
press
a new
in
tribe.
Europe
and go tell
reported
me
on
whether or
new
not they're
animals,
happy.
often referring to them as unicorns. Much of the time, the animal that was described was a rhinoceros, but the public thrived on stories of mysterious animals being found in far-off places, and as a result, newspapers used the term unicorn to attract readers. The idea that there was a real unicorn living in the depths of Africa was sensationalized. This sensation was compounded when the first physical evidence of the animal came to light. In 1899, Sir Harry Johnston was still a colonial administrator and had recently received control of northeastern Rhodesia, which today is part of Zambia. The land shared a border with German East Africa, and it was around this time that British troops intercepted some Germans who had kidnapped a group of pygmy people of the Mbuti tribe.
Assholes.
The Mbuti inhabited the Congo region, and the Germans were planning to send them to Europe to put them on public display as human curiosities in Paris.
What a dick.
The British were opposed to this, and Johnston became tasked with getting this group of people back to their home in the northeastern part of the Congo. But of course, Johnston still had the stories of the Ati on his mind, and he couldn't resist speaking with the tribespeople about the animal to see if they knew anything. All he knew was that the animal was like a donkey, ate leaves, and might have some stripes like a zebra. With the help of a translator, he described the unicorn to the Mbuti people, and he was amazed when they said that they knew exactly what animal he was talking
You take
about.
me back to Africa, I will find
Their name for
anything
it
on earth
was the
you want.
okwapi, and they confirmed that it was similar to a donkey and that it had some stripes. It's unclear if by this point Johnston still believed that the animal he was searching for was the unicorn of myth and legend. But nevertheless, he was excited by the prospect of discovering the animal that had plagued his imagination for the past decade. Upon arriving in the Congo, the pygmy people he was escorting managed to find some tracks of the animal that they had described to Johnston. But Johnston was left bewildered. He assumed that the animal was some sort of horse, so he expected to see single-toed hoof tracks. Instead, the tracks that the Mbuti were pointing out were two-toed, meaning that the animal was more similar to a deer or an antelope. So he dismissed the claims of the Mbuti tribespeople, believing that they must be mistaken. Shortly after, Johnston came to Fort Mbeni, a Belgian outpost in the Semuliki forest in what is today western Uganda.
Right, that Purdy.
He spoke with Lieutenant Mera about the animal that he was looking for, and Mera didn't hesitate to confirm that the unicorn did indeed live in the region. In fact, he himself had seen bodies of the okwapi many times and was relatively familiar with the animal. While they didn't currently have a
What's up,
specimen of the
Scully?
animal
Welcome
on
back.
site, they did have a skin of one that had recently been poached. Today, it's considered strange that Mera was so forthcoming with this information. European countries were in a highly competitive race to colonize Africa at the time, and part of that competition was taking credit for naming new species. Mera likely broke Belgian rules by sharing information with Johnston, and he probably got in a lot of trouble for it later. Now that Johnston knew about the skin, he desperately needed to see it for himself. Members of a local militia had taken the skin and cut it into 3-foot-long strips to use as belts or bandoliers, and Johnston was able to get his hands on 2 of them. He chose 2 heavily striped strips of the skin and sent them off to Philip Sclater of the Zoological Society of London in November of 1900. Sclater then exhibited them at a meeting of the Zoological Society in December. And in 1901, he published his report.
I have now had time to examine more carefully the 2 waist belts made of skin, forwarded to me by Sir Harry Johnston, and already exhibited at the meeting on December 18th last. I have come to the conclusion that whether the native account of the animal from which they were taken is precisely correct or not, the specimens themselves cannot be referred to any of the known species of zebra, and must belong to an undescribed animal, which I propose, provisionally at least, to name after its discoverer with the following characters until better specimens are obtained.
As you can see from the report, the okwapi was still believed to be a species of horse, though they couldn't be certain based on the skin alone. They needed to find the animal, so Johnston set out to do just that. Lieutenant Mera supplied Johnston with local guides, and Johnston set out into the Congolese jungle in search of the African unicorn. Again, the guides found tracks for the animal that they called the okwapi, but again, the tracks were of a 2-toed ungulate. Johnston refused to follow the tracks, certain that they would simply lead the group to some sort of forest antelope. The entire expedition ended up being a disaster. Many members of the search party came down with malaria and needed to be rescued by the Belgians at Fort Mbeni. Johnston also complained non-stop about the oppressive heat and humidity of the dense jungle. Eventually, they all gave up and returned empty-handed. Thankfully, it didn't take long for better evidence of the okwapi to reach Johnston. This time, it came from the Swedish lieutenant that had replaced Lieutenant Mera, as he had recently died of blackwater fever. The new lieutenant's name was Carl Eriksson, and he had come across the skull of an adult and a juvenile, as well as a complete skin. He sent them on to Johnston, again breaking all the rules for discovering a new species among the European colonies. Johnston finally had the detailed evidence that he had been looking for. Being a skilled artist, he drew what he believed the okwapi to look like, based on the skin and the skulls. And his drawings were surprisingly accurate. While the legs are too thin and their snouts are too pointy, for the most part, this was the first accurate scientific image produced of the African unicorn. And of course, It wasn't a unicorn at all. Johnston could tell when he looked at the skull that the elusive African unicorn wasn't a horse, but in fact a species of giraffid, especially owing to the teeth. The feet hadn't been included with the skin that was sent, but it was safe to assume that he was wrong, and the okapi did in fact have two-toed hooves, like giraffes do. Perhaps disappointingly, Johnston finally had the evidence that the animal didn't have a long, singular horn pointing straight out of the forehead, but two smaller, backward-pointing horns, again similar to giraffes. The skin and skulls were sent on to London, and by July of 1901, the okapi had been officially scientifically described. There was much debate over the century of how to classify the species, but in the 1980s it was settled as a sister genus to giraffes. Despite the major differences in neck length, both giraffes and okapis have only 7 vertebrae in their necks, just like every other mammal species, except for manatees and sloths. Throughout the 20th century, museums across the world wanted to get their hands on an okapi specimen for their collections. These elusive animals were chased into pits where they were speared to death from above. Many specimens in museums today show clear scarring across their bodies from the brutal way that they were collected. They used to range across much of what is the Democratic Republic of Congo today, and into a small part of northeastern
I
Uganda.
appreciate your time, Tiffany.
But by the 1970s, the last of the Ugandan okapis were wiped out. Zoos across the world have also housed okapis. The first was the Antwerp Zoo in Belgium. They obtained a live okapi in 1919, and they have since been one of the most successful zoos in
Hello,
breeding the
Mr.
species.
Mr. Super Sidewinder.
Currently, okapis are housed in zoos across the United States, Europe, and Japan. In the wild, the population has declined significantly, and they're currently listed as endangered. Their population is extremely difficult to estimate, as they're solitary and wander across huge expanses of jungle. But it's believed that between 10,000 and 35,000 roam free in Central Africa today. The species faces a lot of threats. For one, they're still hunted for bushmeat on a regular basis throughout the region.
How you doing,
They're
bud?
also
Good to
facing
see you.
habitat loss due to logging and human encroachment. But perhaps the worst threat in modern times for the species is warfare. Illegal armed groups are common in the region, and in order to carry out their illegal activities, they need local authorities to stay away. In 2012, one of these groups went to extreme lengths to be able to get away with their crimes. In the Ituri Forest is the Okapi Wildlife Reserve.
Right?
It
Look
covers
tasty.
14,000 square kilometers of pristine jungle and is home to a myriad of rare wildlife, including elephants, leopards, and chimpanzees. It's also home to as much as a third of the wild okapi population, and in 2012, on site at their research center were 14 okapis that were being rehabilitated. The armed group in the area is known as the Mai Mai Rebels. They fund their operations by poaching elephants in the park and participating in illegal mining activities. On the 24th of June, 2012, they attacked the research center, killing 6 people. They also killed 2 park rangers. And just to fully commit to their evil act, they killed all 14 of the okapis that were being rehabilitated. Thankfully, conservation efforts are still strong in the region, and captive breeding has proven to be very successful. While the okapis still face regular hardships, there are countless people and organizations around the world committed to maintaining this amazing species that only a century ago was considered a mythical unicorn by
A
some.
literal mythical creature proven to exist by science. Right? That's pretty cool. Now,
And
I'm
if you
gonna
look
mute
closely,
this
you'll spot a
in the background over here. So basically, hey, that's about that time, ain't it? We done dude the whole thing. Hey, y'all like it? Y'all like it short and sweet, or y'all want to be wax philosophical? You know, it kind of strikes me as weird sometimes when there are 15 people with nothing better on a Saturday night to do than sit around and stare at this dude talking about mythical creatures that may or may not have ever existed. See, currently I can't prove they're real. I've never actually seen one, only pictures. You want to be waxed? I hear you. I think its markings are pretty, and I am more determined than ever that you want to see one in real life. Well, that's going to be kind of hard, bro. You going to go camping in the Congo? I hear you. I was kind of hoping ATL would come in so he could like eat some Doritos as my play out. I'm going to drop the link one more time in case anybody want to come say hey. And I'm going to ease on up out of here before something bad happened to me. Right? Because that's the way, that's the way it is in America today.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead,